Hey everybody, welcome to Package Some Sound.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
We're going to talk about Heroes in Crisis. That's
Whoa.
right. Last year, DC had a crisis, and nobody cared. No, this is...
It happened.
Another
and no one
crisis?
knew.
Yeah, another crisis. But this is one of those, like, quiet, non-continuity changing crises. This is like the
So it's not a crisis.
It's like a personal crisis.
It says fucking crisis right here on the cover.
But if it's a non-continuity changing thing,
It says
Crisis
crisis.
did the same thing. We
Yeah.
did Identity Crisis.
Yeah,
That was
that wasn't a crisis either.
no, that was a murder mystery.
that's precisely my point.
Yeah.
They're just putting the name Crisis on it so people buy it, but it's not a crisis.
What?
Yeah, and
Never.
also this is Identity Crisis 2, basically. It's another murder mystery.
What? Okay.
So Golden Boy, DC Comics, Tom King, wanted to talk about PTSD because he hasn't already enough in all of his works. Superheroes go on a lot of crazy adventures and they take their trauma with them and they're expected to shoulder it. Fie on that. Well, what are they going to do? How do they deal with their trauma?
Right.
So he designed this concept that, like the Trinity, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, they built a secret superhero therapy barn in, like, Kansas, right? Like a secret little cottage
Yeah.
that is
Okay.
entirely run by Kryptonian robot technology so that there's no, like, staff. You don't have to deal with
Right.
the diciness of,
Like the Fortress of Solitude.
Exactly.
Well,
It's-
so
But
no
in
one tells your
Kansas.
secrets.
Right. And so the idea here is that, like, you go to Sanctuary and you can stay as long as you want because, like, everything's provided for you and the robots take care of everything and everything's kind of like using Kryptonian holo technology or whatever. So you can, like, you can talk to your dead relatives or yourself or whatever.
Or you can enact the same scene you were just went through.
Exactly. And so that's what Sanctuary is, this place where heroes can go to try and deal with their trauma, which in and of itself isn't a horrible idea at all. And in fact, like the concept of like, what if superheroes get PTSD? What if superheroes get PTSD? That, I don't know if I care enough to read that, but I do appreciate that someone's like, clearly Tom King's like, I deal with PTSD and I want to talk about it.
Right.
And I'm talented enough to be able to speak intelligently about that subject.
Right.
Well, right on, do it.
It makes sense considering the fact that you want your superheroes to be a bit more human.
Sure.
Humans go through it, so this is another level where you're like, you know what? Let them deal with that too.
Yeah. Diana's not really a human being. Batman's had his spine shattered. Superman was punched to death by a space monster made of rocks. Like, they've gone through some stuff. And that's just the Trinity. Not to mention all the forgotten sidekick Teen Titan heroes that are, like, again, just cannon fodder for editorial.
Right.
That's kind of the really interesting meat and potatoes. Like, what about Green Arrow's junkie sidekick, Arsenal? Like, what about him? You know, he's gone through some shit. You know, that'd be really rich.
Clearly, the supervillains like break into this place at
No.
some point, or like set a virus.
Nope,
No.
you think that, right? Well, maybe.
Or maybe that goes through time, through all those events you just mentioned, and shows what when they go to
That would be really cool.
the thing
Yeah.
after Batman got his spine shattered, he
Right.
goes to Sanctuary, and you
what's-
find out what he goes
What's
through.
actually really cool about that is that there are variant covers that show you like all the trauma they go through, and they call them like what the case files are.
Huh.
When Jason Todd was beaten to death by the
Oh,
Joker with
yeah.
a crowbar.
Yeah.
Wait,
When
whose
Aquaman-
trauma is that? The Joker's?
No, it's Batman.
Well, it's Batman's and Jason's because Jason Todd's alive.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
Jason's friggin' dead, man.
Nah, he's been alive for like over a decade.
Damn it.
He's a major character.
Yeah,
okay.
it was like I was like thinking Jason Todd's dead.
Yeah.
Batman wasn't there. The Joker's like, man, I probably could have killed him a different way than a crowbar. Let's go through this again.
Technically, Joker didn't kill Robin with a crowbar. He just beat him,
Beat him
mercilessly
within an inch of
with
his
it.
life.
Oh, then he
Blew him
exploded.
up in
Yeah.
a warehouse.
Oh, that's right.
But anyway, so
Sorry,
these-
my apologies.
Thank you. But these variant covers here show you
those
all of
moments.
those things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the book makes absolutely no attempt to delve into them whatsoever.
Yeah, it just shows you, hey, remember that time?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just-
also, like,
just a cool picture.
that's a neat idea. Let me express it through pictorial form.
Right.
Neat.
Yeah, as if it's a goddamn like Polaroid.
So
Yeah.
what trauma do they go through in this book?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
It invents a new one, right, for them?
Yes, it does, in fact, because the main players in this book are Harley Quinn and Booster Gold.
Whoa.
All right,
what?
I'll see you guys.
Nope, you sit. So Booster Gold is a fun-loving, time-traveling hero no one's ever heard of. Lol. His best event is the DC Comics weekly event called 52, which we will do one day.
Oh, I thought it was when he got punched across time and space by
Doomsday?
Doomsday.
He was only punched across the country by Doomsday. And his suit got torn.
He got punched across time zones.
Well, yes, that's true. All right, you got me on a technicality, Ben. Booster Gold has always been kind of like an optimist. And King's like, well, that's not convenient for me in my narrative. So I gotta at least, I can't invent. This book's only a few issues.
Right.
So I gotta invent some kind of trauma that Booster Gold has to go to justify him going to Sanctuary.
How about being Booster Gold?
Right, I'm out of time.
Or how about don't use Booster Gold?
Or how about just don't use Booster Gold? Well, and here's the other thing.
You could have used whoever you want.
Yeah.
Yes, except according to Tom King in an interview, he said, he's like, I want to pitch this idea, here's the story, and then editorial's like, okay, you have to use these 3 characters.
Oh.
I imagine that DC editorial's like, you need to prop up Harley Quinn because obviously ka-ching, and the other 2 characters I really hate or don't care about and would love to see get theirs. Or Tom King's like, who gives a shit about Booster Gold? But when I say that on this couch, I have a dozen comments that say actually, many people like Booster Gold. So I can't even imagine.
You're forgetting the time Booster Gold saved the whole universe
right,
or whatever.
I can't even imagine what it's like to write a story where your thesis is who gives a shit about Booster Gold, and then walk around a Comic-Con.
Right.
Again.
Yeah.
Heroes in Crisis is the end, the last nail in the coffin for DC Rebirth. So New 52 comes along. Clean slate, except for that and that and that and that, and unless we hire somebody who forgets that we rebooted, then they can keep whatever they're doing, and that and this, and shit. And then Jeff Johns comes in, and he's like, okay, I got this, Rebirth. I'll do this book, DC Universe Rebirth. Wally West comes back. Tons of people are bitching, including me, about how Wally West got sidelined / changed. I'm bringing him back. Here he is. How could I ever forget you? You're the hope for the DC Universe. With you comes continuity and the missing years and all that stuff.
Right.
And then Jeff Johns left the company and formed his own company and became an independent contractor that writes DC Comics, but from his company over there, and isn't a co-publisher of DC anymore.
And then there was no plan?
No. Well, I'm sure he had a plan, and that plan was called Doomsday Clock.
Yeah, but
then
that
he
plan
took 3 years to execute, and he left halfway through. And I'm telling you, man, he leaves, and then 3 months later, Heroes in Crisis comes about, and I promise you Heroes in Crisis didn't take more than 3 months to write. So, Heroes in Crisis is absolutely a response to Jeff Johns and DC editorial being like, no,
wait,
I don't want to do that.
If that's the case, the Crisis is Jeff Johns leaving DC.
Yeah, and now we're using the
Crisis. It's DC in Crisis. Well, what are we going to do without Jeff Johns?
The heroes in Crisis are us.
Yeah, we're the heroes in Crisis. I mean, that's not inaccurate. So this Tom King and Clayman event is a story that ostensibly started as I want to talk about PTSD and superheroes and make it an event so it gets more eyes on it and people can really talk about it. And the editorial goes yeah, make it a murder mystery and stuff. Somebody gets killed. No, a dozen people get killed. And who did it and why? And maybe it was Booster Gold. And you're wait, what? And I swear, I promise you, Tom King, this is the only thing this guy regrets writing, is this freaking thing. And because what if superheroes at PTSD? Great idea. The idea here is that people go, and when they go there, they do video testimonials where they keep a running journal of their progress or lack thereof.
Sure.
Great idea. Get superheroes with secret identities who have gone through trauma to record in video their personal secrets onto a secret database that I'm sure won't be corrupted and used.
Well, but it's under Superman's control, right?
Right.
And he's the only one
and
that
Batman.
Everybody trusts. What?
Oh yeah, no, Batman too.
No, Batman should not have the keys to the vault with all the videos of personal stuff for every superhero.
You mean the guy who has a backup plan and to take everybody down?
For everybody, and everyone knows it.
Oh, and then if everybody knows it, then I guess they're fine with handing over all their darkest.
Oh, he already knows.
And villains.
He knows it already.
Villains are also able to use this, so he has files on villains as well.
Well, why not? That's a great idea. Hell, maybe Sanctuary, the whole thing is just a secret Trojan horse to trick Solomon Grundy and the Joker into going to this place so he and find out more shit about them.
That'd be my guess.
It's not.
The Joker's never going to this place. Jesus.
No, but the thing is, you expect him to, so he's not going to. Because he's the Ryan Johnson of supervillain.
So I would never expect the Joker to go. I just expected to say that's stupid.
Of course he would.
But because you're not expecting me to
he'd
go, I will go.
He'd make a joke
Except for
out
the
of
fact
it.
that you're expecting me to go because you don't expect me to go, so I won't go.
No! The context is Tom King needed to retcon that Booster Gold went through trauma.
Right.
So, in Tom King's...
Well, you could just show it.
No, well, he did. He does.
He does.
Well,
I know exactly what
but
it is.
happened in the past.
He banged Harley Quinn.
No, that would be traumatic. But instead, what happens is he does a whole arc in his controversial Batman run during the time when Batman was going to get married to Catwoman. Booster Gold finds out, and so he's going to give Batman a gift. So Booster Gold heard about what do you get for the man who was everything, in which Superman gets the Black Orchid.
Yeah.
And he sees his heart's desire, and Booster Gold finds out about that. So what he does is he goes back in time, and he rescues the Waynes. And then his plan is he's going to show Batman the life that he would have had if his parents had survived, and how much worse it would have been than the life that he has now.
Except it's not.
It's actually much worse.
Oh.
But Bruce Wayne is selfish and happy. The idea here being that, like, Bruce Wayne was raised by the Waynes in a lap of luxury, in a world where there's still, like, the Penguin and Superman.
Right.
So there's no Batman. So it's a world without Batman, and basically the Joker just takes over everything. And it's not even really the Joker, it's like that there are 1,000 Jokers, and that everybody gets, like, practically Jokerized. The world is in tumult.
Right.
The opening of that story arc is that Green Lantern is corrupted, and he's like, you want to see some willpower? The ring won't let me hurt myself, but I have the strongest will of all, and he holds it up against his temple, and he blows his brains out onto Booster Gold's visor. And Booster Gold watches as, like, the world falls apart. Time-altered Bruce Wayne comes to the present, and they fix it. So Bruce Wayne, adult, sees his parents die in the alley again, but for the first time, and he kills himself in front of Booster Gold. And basically, like, all this horror... Oh, also, Booster Gold becomes, like, a prisoner for, like, years.
Oh, my God.
He goes...
This was a bad idea.
Yeah, yes.
It was all just to, like, see what happened, right?
Yeah.
You saw what happened, it didn't work.
Right.
Leave.
Yeah.
Give it up.
Unfortunately...
No, I have to make this timeline work.
Well, no.
Why? It's a fake one you created.
Skeets, his robot from the future, who also has time circuits in it, he gets broken and taken.
Oh, I see.
So he's trapped here.
He's stuck. Okay.
It's Back to the Future,
All
but
right.
R-rated and stupid. So Booster Gold has trauma now.
Right,
and now we
anyway.
can justify him going to Sanctuary.
Gotcha.
So
Because Booster Gold never had to go to Sanctuary
he
before.
would never have gone, and he
was
had no
fine.
reason to, but now he does. And by the way, like, he has this whole, like, horrible thing. You know, Booster Gold has this, like, this visor.
Yeah.
Like, both Hal Jordan's blood splatters on it and alternate reality Bruce Wayne's blood splatters on it. And now, no matter how clean he gets it, he always sees the blood.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll never be clean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Booster Gold is in a diner, and he's just, like, sad, and he's talking to the waitress, who looks like she's from 1955.
Yeah.
And then Harley Quinn shows up, and she's like, hey, and she, like, sits down next to him, and she
The waitress isn't like, who are you?
No, well, she has, like...
I'm Booster Gold!
Yes, they do make a joke about how no one's ever heard of Booster Gold.
Nice. Good.
But he says, like, you know, I'm a hero, you never heard of me. And Harley goes in, too, and she sits next to him, and she orders a pie. And she's like, oh, this pie is so good. Anyway, and then she attacks Booster Gold.
What?
Because...
Why does he just sit there when Harley Quinn walks in? She's like, oh, hey, Harley, what's up?
Well, she didn't do
I'm coming
anything yet.
down.
And they're both acting totally unlike their characters.
Okay.
Which will be par for the course throughout the series, because agendas are being driven, and Tom King is just desperately trying to get some measure of whatever he was trying to do.
Right.
I need
into
this
book.
plot to work, so just deal with it.
Well, that's why the whole series has, like, this plot going on, and also it's punctuated by his favorite format, the Watchmen 9-panel grid, where each character he highlights is talking to the camera at Sanctuary and is going through their trauma, and we're just seeing, like, their sorrow or their way of dealing
Here's
with it.
Harley Quinn. Here's Blue Jay.
Yeah.
All right. Hotspot. Who are these people?
These are characters you haven't heard of, or characters that like were invented in the 90s, or characters that no one's gonna miss because they all get slaughtered. So
I get repeating the format.
And by the way, Arsenal and other characters are desperately missed. It's more like, Jesus Christ, man, some people like these characters, and like editorial was just leaving them in a drawer. That's as good as dead, but now you've killed them and no one's gonna care to bring them back.
Right.
So you killed them for no good reason.
At least they were alive, even though they weren't used.
Yes.
Now they're not used and they're dead.
Yes.
Thanks.
I was going to say, at least he's following a format. Like, no, this is how everyone's testimonial goes.
Oh, yeah.
It's a grid format.
Yes, but also, like, don't break it, man. You just,
Don't overuse it.
Right. It works sometimes.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work because you want it to.
Right.
Blue Jay can, like, shrink, and he has, like, this horrible trauma where he's like, I can't control it. It's like, I'll go to bed, and I'll shrink while I'm asleep, and when I wake up, I'm in an ocean of blankets, and I'm just suffocating from my own powers. And you're like, Jesus Christ.
I don't want to think about that. Come on. He's got a fun power. You don't have to ruin it.
Nope, ruined. Don't worry, he's dead.
What if it was actually a curse?
Yeah, what if he's trying to deal with this weird, horrible...
Completely unrelatable.
I get if you can't control it, you can still get big again afterwards.
No, but like he's like having a panic attack.
Yeah, you know when you wake up from a dream, you're not sure if it's real, you're not sure what's real. Like he wakes up and he's like, is this reality? I'm just swimming in blankets forever?
No,
oh wait, no, it's a dream, I'm okay. But for that moment, I was real scared.
But that is reality for him.
Right.
So his life is a waking nightmare.
Right, he can't wake up.
Like every superhero. So anyway, Harley attacks Booster and they fight. And they like destroy the diner and Harley's stabbing him. And Booster Gold has like a personal force field that he uses sometimes to like keep him from being killed because he's just a dude.
Right.
In
like
suit.
a suit. Yeah. So they're fighting. Meanwhile, Superman is beelining it to Sanctuary because he's heard that some bad shit has gone down. Wonder Woman's on her way, Batman's on his way, and Superman is investigating the scene. And what the scene is a number of characters who have given testimonials throughout Heroes in Crisis and also who have like cult followings have been slaughtered.
Wow.
They're just dead.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. Like Hotspot has this sequence.
I shouldn't laugh.
No, it's
I just imagine the robots going insane and be like, I can't deal with your shit anymore.
See, now it was that.
robots.
It was
Oh
like,
my God.
The robots went nuts. They can't deal with trauma.
There's just so much. They're just surrounded by people's pain and trauma all the time, and they just internalize it and go crazy.
That's a solid fucking pitch. That's not what happens.
Damn it.
Who's the robot that I talked to?
There's no robot for me. He just starts slaughtering
I
everybody.
guess I just follow orders. I have no freaking.
I have an artificial intelligence. I'm supposed to be able to like sympathize, but like I can't empathize. So anyway, Hotspot has this like sequence where he talks about his catchphrase. He goes, "My catchphrase. I'm just warming up. Superheroes have got to have a catchphrase." Then he talks about his sorrow, and then Superman sees Hotspot and he's identifying everybody who's dead, and he's trying to be kind of clinical about it.
Yeah.
But he's Superman. So
Yeah,
he's seeing him.
he's not Batman.
No. So he's like, "This is Hotspot. He used to say something. He had a catchphrase. Oh, I can't remember it."
Ouch.
Yeah, but he's sad because he can't
I thought he
remember
had like super memory.
it. Well,
He's super in every
He
respect.
can't because he has to have super trauma in this book.
See, I can.
Even Superman has trauma.
Ethan, I remember it. I just don't care.
I did remember it, and then I'm just like, I just let that one go.
It was kind of dumb.
Yeah. The only reason I have super memory is because I actively purge memories I don't care about.
Because I'm a freaking computer.
Hotspot, he had some kind of catchphrase. What was it? It's getting hot in here.
That's a song.
No, that's Nelly. Damn it.
You'd be surprised how often that happens to me. Anyway, so Superman's identifying all these bodies, and he goes into Sanctuary. The robots are destroyed, and Wally West is dead on top of Arsenal, who is also dead.
What?
And you're like, wait a minute. Wally West was the linchpin for Rebirth, and now he's fucking dead? What have you done?
In this friggin' book?
In this friggin' book.
Oh, he was killed off camera. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. On the wall is a message, because there's always got to be a message from the murderer. And it says, "The Puddlers are all dead." And Superman's like, what the crap is that? Booster thinks that Harley killed everyone at Sanctuary. And Harley thinks that Booster killed everyone at Sanctuary.
What?
And
Why would Harley care?
Well, there's a reason.
Ah.
And we'll get into that.
Of course there is. Okay.
So Poison Ivy is giving her testimonial because Harley Quinn was given an opportunity to use Sanctuary, and so she tells Poison Ivy about it because they're buddies.
Right.
/ maybe lovers or whatever. But like the fact is they're close. And so Harley convinces Poison Ivy to go and is murdered.
Harley's
Poison
murdered?
Ivy's dead?
Poison Ivy's
Poison
dead
Ivy's
too.
murdered.
Yep.
What?
Oh yeah, they killed a major Batman villain off screen in this event.
What?
Poison Ivy's dead too.
So this doesn't happen, right?
This has to be undone.
Yes, it did. And no, there's only a little time travel.
Oh God.
But
All
it
right.
is essential for the end to work because it's lazy.
Yeah.
So Harley is...
Oh, that's why Booster Gold's in the story. Got it.
Yeah. So Harley is aided by Penguin to hide. She knows that Penguin is a stoolie and will give her up. She just wanted some breathing room so that when she meets with the Trinity, she can explain her side of the story.
Okay.
Booster wakes up in a field and all of his wounds are gone. And he's like, what the hell was that all about?
All his stab wounds from Harley?
From Harley, yeah. He remembers the fight, but like, it's like the fight never happened. So the Trinity goes and they meet with Harley and they're like, Harley, what happened? And she says, Booster Gold killed everybody. And then she fights the Trinity. Harley Quinn fights Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman.
What?
Okay, the Joker couldn't do that.
So she lasts for like a half a second,
Actually,
right?
she wins.
Okay.
Because she has to, for the story to work.
Yes. Well, for her to get away.
Well, it's probably not fucking real or something.
No, it is. It totally happens.
Oh my God.
Earlier, the Trinity is doing an autopsy on one of the heroes,
Yeah.
one of the dead heroes. And Superman's like, Batman, could you please just pull up the secret security cameras you have in Sanctuary and find out who killed them? And he's like, the whole nature of Sanctuary is that there's no recorded data. All of the files are for those people's benefit, and then they're immediately purged. There's no saving of the data. And they're like, sure.
How is that possible? How is it like I went there, like, and I pick up where I left off if there's no save file?
Well, maybe they don't. Maybe it's just like the therapeutic nature of talking to a camera.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's not actually intended to ever be like re-looked at.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Apparently.
Then why would they need to talk to anything? Just talk to the mirror.
Because the nature of therapy is you need to talk. You
Yeah.
need to like interact with something or someone. But in any case, Superman's like, I don't believe you. And Batman's like, you must. Like, we're brothers. You trust me. And he's like, you probably
No,
have...
I don't.
He's like, you have a kryptonite ring in your bat belt right now. And he's like...
No, I don't.
He goes, I do not have a kryptonite ring in my bat belt. Harley meets up with the Trinity. She's like, it was horrible. And she goes to Wonder Woman, who's very empathetic. And she hugs her. And then steals the lasso of truth, leaps over her, wraps the lasso around Batman, and then says...
And then Superman flies to her in a half second and punches her.
Oh, no. She threatens, to strangle him or something. There's really no dialogue to back it up, but the reality is she gets the one-up on Wonder Woman and Batman in one fell swoop, and she says, where do you keep the kryptonite? And he goes, I have the kryptonite ring in my bat belt.
Because she has the lasso of truth around him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she takes it, flashes it at Superman, and then just leaves.
I thought that ring was to punch him, not to shine at him from far away.
It is. So then she leaves, and Superman is like, I can't believe she got the drop on you, Bruce. She's good. She's as good as you. Harley Quinn. The Joker's sidekick and Suicide Squad teammate is as good a fighter or as good a detective or as good as an acrobat as Batman.
I wonder if Harley Quinn's getting a show.
Or a movie. Now, the funny thing is, Batman doesn't say, and she's fast. Faster than you. Because you didn't immediately chase after her.
You didn't do
Let's
anything.
say,
You just
faster
sat
than a
there.
speeding bullet. And Wonder Woman, she's smart. As smart as you. Because you didn't think of a way of defeating her while she was strangling me
my
with your
God.
stupid rope, you assholes.
Or I was going to say strong enough to hold on to your lasso.
Right. Nope. So, Booster Gold... is like, okay, well, I gotta...
No, you can't gloss over the fact that there are no cameras, it's not recorded.
Oh, no, he's lying.
You have a kryptonite ring.
Well, you just lied about the ring, so now show us the cameras.
They don't have that conversation, but...
What do you mean they don't?
Because we know, like, it's inferred.
That's what does
I
happen.
value that, but they're like, he's like, he lied about everything in that conversation was a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was punctuated
And it was
by
laid bare by Harley Quinn.
Yes.
That's why she gets the one up on them, so she can show that Batman was lying.
And so she can get away.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they would have.
Otherwise the song doesn't work. Robin has to lay an egg at some point.
She's not in the song.
Booster is like, I got to solve this problem, and I can't just give myself up to the Trinity because they're just going to arrest me, and I won't be able to prove my own innocence. So
they're so unreasonable.
I know,
Trinity.
right? So they
didn't immediately murder Harley Quinn.
Secret place for you to deal with your trauma, but I can't trust them. So he's like, oh, I know. I'll go to Barry Allen, who's a forensic expert, and I will ask him to figure it out. So he goes to Flash, who's fighting some bad guys, and he's like, hey man, like, what did you find out over at Sanctuary? Because, like, you're fast. You must have already done it. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, the bodies. And Skeets, his robot AI sidekick, is like, don't do it. He's the voice of reason throughout the book.
Okay.
And he's like, don't tell him anything. Don't say anything, you idiot.
Right.
And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, what bodies? And he's like, oh, maybe it was me. I don't remember. Like, killed everybody. Like, Ivy and Arsenal and Wally and Flash. Like, what are you talking? Boom, gone. And Skeets and Booster have a conversation where they're like, how long do you think it'll take for him to figure out and solve the mystery? And he's like, I don't know. And then Flash just punches him in the face. And he's like, what did you do? So Harley goes to a bridge and takes a rose that Ivy planted for her and like throws it into the river and says goodbye. She's like, I'm so sorry. Like all I wanted was for you to get better and feel good. And I basically led to your death because I took you to the place you died.
Yeah.
And I'm really
I couldn't
sorry.
have known that Booster will go crazy apparently and kill you.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry.
And everyone was there? What, were they in line waiting for their turn?
No, Sanctuary it's deceptive. It looks like a little cottage, but actually it's like a super like big place.
All right.
And
it's like the TARDIS.
yeah, it's bigger on the inside. But like they go in there and like you each get your own room, and there is a common area, but in order to maintain anonymity, you can't just like walk around. You have to put on these like crazy masks and robes, like you're part of an Eyes Wide Shut cult. And if you're thinking like, hey, that mask kind of looks... if you're thinking, hey, that mask kind of looks like Psycho Pirate's mask, which is a big important MacGuffin in Tom King's, at this point, concurrently running Batman title, forget it because it has nothing to do with Psycho Pirate's mask. Because even though Tom King uses Psycho Pirate's mask in the Batman run to deal with trauma and emotions, and the mask looks just like it, it has nothing to do with it. It's just a creepy gold mask for people to wear at Sanctuary so that when they bump into each other, they don't know who each other is because even though they worked together for decades, they wouldn't recognize their own voices. So the Trinity's all dumping on Batman, and then Superman hears Barry dealing with Booster Gold, and he's like, oh, gotta go! Oop. And he flies super fast and gets there. Not fast enough to catch Harley Quinn, is only like 8 pieces away, but like, hey, listen, moving on. So Lois is at the Daily Planet, and she's trying to figure out how to spell something because like that's an element of her character. And her colleague is like, we got some files here that came in through the Dropbox, and they're like really messed up because they're video files of superheroes giving confessionals about shit they've gone through.
What?
And Lois is like, what? And it's from an anonymous source who calls himself the Puddlers. So we get an insight into 3 kind of like through lines in one issue. Lagoon Boy, Booster Gold, and Wally West. Wally West is going through the trauma of, sure, he came back, but like in the pre-New 52 continuity, Wally West was not only Flash, but also like had a wife and children. And now he doesn't. And in fact, when Wally...
Yeah, now they're gone.
Well, his wife's around, but she don't remember him because Barry didn't pull her from the Speed Force.
Yeah,
so
boy.
That's awkward and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Great, now I get to win her back all over
so
again.
Everyone
it's a happy
who knows
story now.
is different and gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's the trauma.
That's
of Wally
pretty
West.
traumatic.
Yes. And so Wally is dealing with that, and Wally's of course like an optimist, and he's hopeful. So he's like, I'm here. I'm on week 2 or 3, and I'm plowing through. I'm trying to make it better. And all he's doing is like making the hologram like produce his children, and he's hanging out with them and stuff. And like he's also dealing with the whole like trauma of being told by every friend and hero of his that he is the hope for the DC universe.
Oh God.
And he's like, what does that even mean? That's why I'm like, this is the anti-rebirth and the end of it. Because it's like, Jeff Johns being like, Wally's back. He's hope. He's the promise of the future. And then he's like, what does that mean though? Like that's a lot of pressure on me.
Yeah.
And it's like, because Johns was clearly going to bring everything back, you asshole. But like he left, so no.
Yeah.
So now it's just sad.
So now you're nothing, Wally.
Yeah. Now you're redundant.
You're
Wally.
here for no reason at all. Just like the rest of us.
Does the shield in the back tie into this somehow?
That's the Sanctuary logo.
Yeah. It's also the mask, pretty
Yeah.
much. It's the exact same shape.
Yeah.
That's true. That's right. Lagoon Boy was a Titan that was created in the 90s. He gets zapped by a laser. That's the trauma, is that he gets like killed by a laser and then he was brought back.
Oh.
And he's like, so every time he goes, he just has the laser kill him. And he's like, maybe one day I won't be afraid of it.
Oh.
And Wally, he's at Sanctuary and he's talking to his wife and his children. He's playing with them. There's one sequence where he's putting his kids to bed. And they're like, tell me again about how you got your powers. And he's like, well, Uncle Barry got hit by lightning, and I was next to him, and I got chemicals on me, and lightning hit me too. And they're like, that's kind of silly. And he's like, yes, it is. It's very silly. And you're like, thanks. It's like, yes. So tell me how you got your powers. Well, I was from a doomed planet, and I landed here, and the yellow sun gave me superpowers. That's pretty fucking dumb, don't you think? Yes. Yes, it is fucking dumb.
I think Wally's a little bit
I know,
more
it's-
lame because it's like, oh, and also I got hit by lightning
me
because
too.
I was next to him.
I agree, but like, there's...
So your origin is derivative of and dependent on someone else's.
Yes.
Yes, that's true.
That
So
is
you're
correct.
you're always going to be second fiddle.
Yeah, you can never be.
Except...
because he was struck by lightning and I got a little bit of it.
Right,
It's not that
but-
we were both struck by lightning.
Yeah, but Wally took over as Flash. Barry's biggest claim to fame, up until he came back in like 03, was dying in Crisis. That was the biggest thing Barry Allen ever did.
Yeah, but he
was
saved the
blow
world.
No, he blew up a cannon.
Yeah, you forget, Sal. He was also first.
Yes. And that's why Jeff
that's
Johns
pretty
loves him so
important.
badly. Like, but Wally was best. He was faster, he pioneered the Speed Force, and he was a character.
This is what I don't get. How can you be faster if you weren't struck by the main part of the lightning?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, because he tried harder.
Because Wally had the Speed Force.
Barry didn't have the Speed Force?
No, he didn't. They didn't invent it back then.
Well, how was he so fast then?
Chemicals and lightning.
Oh.
Very, very frightening.
So the mechanism behind their speed was different, even though the same accident gave them both speed?
well,
Yeah.
now that the Speed Force exists, Barry has the Speed Force.
Yes.
And he always had the Speed Force.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Barry is the Speed Force. So anyway, Booster's also there, and he's having a hard time because of the Batman story that he did. And so he can't think of anything to do with the holographic technology, so he makes himself. And he just yells at himself.
Okay.
You're no good, Booster!
As those characters are all going through their shit, there's like a announcement on the PA that's like, evacuate, leave, get out, go to the front door and
Get
walk
the hell
out.
out of here.
Get
You're
out
done.
of here. Go.
Session ended.
Gross.
Looks like your time is up.
Are we not
We'll have
sure?
to carry this on next week.
Is this some story where we're not sure which Booster Gold
No.
did it?
No. Well, I think he's laying the seeds for you to think that, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's no alternate Booster Gold. So
Okay.
It's not that.
it's not that, no. So then they all jump out, and Lagoon Boy comes outside, and he sees like a bunch of dead people, and he's like, oh my god. And then he gets stabbed through the chest, the same way that he gets lasered all the time. And he's like, huh, and then dies.
Oh, I wasn't scared.
Well, at least he
Yeah.
laughs about it.
Yeah, good for Lagoon Boy. That's what we call a breakthrough. Your sternum.
Ugh.
Wally finds dead Arsenal, and he's like, oh my god, no! Then he gets clobbered in the head by Harley Quinn, because the fastest man alive can be smashed to death with a hammer by Harley Quinn.
Dear God.
And then Booster Gold sees her, and he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm killing everybody. And he's like, oh. She's like, I didn't know you were here. That's crazy. So you're like,
What
okay.
is happening?
You're like, okay, Harley Quinn killed everybody. Right on. Barry and Bruce go to Sanctuary, and because Barry's a forensic expert and Bruce is Batman, they both investigate the crime scene, and they both concur that the evidence left behind definitively points to one person. And Flash says Booster, and Batman says Harley. And then Flash goes, shit!
That's
So-
the funniest part of this book.
Yeah. So they arrest Booster and they tie the lasso around Booster's hands.
Yeah.
And they ask him what happened, and he says what you saw, that Harley Quinn killed everybody, including a Flash. And Wonder Woman's like, and that's when you ran away? And she's like, no, I flew away.
Right. But yes.
But yes.
The gist of what you said is true, but just technically I flew.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, I am a coward, though.
Oh, yes, big time.
Why didn't you punch her in the face?
Well, no.
Well, she was murdering everybody.
Well, I had to go to a diner and have coffee.
And then ignore her when she sat next to me and let her stab me.
Yeah, that's right. That's what happened.
Meanwhile, Lois is in her
Super
underwear.
Sexy, yeah. Lois, of course, is dealing with the Puddler's message and all this stuff.
Oh, yeah, the Puddler.
But she's got an inside source, and she's like, Clark, what do I do about this? And he's like, I don't know.
What?
And so, they bang because...
You mean all of our video files, you have them?
Yeah. She's like, I mean, it's news.
Okay, I'm just going to head over to the Daily Planet. I'm just going to go get some milk.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. All right.
All the servers are down. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Don't worry too much about any of that.
I wouldn't worry about
I wouldn't worry about it.
You know what? I have a feeling that Superman is going to fight somebody in the next 5 minutes, and that would be just as good as a story about betraying the trust of my colleagues, even if they're dead.
Yeah.
We see Barbara Gordon, Batgirl's confessional. They had just recently unveiled the new Batgirl costume, which is decidedly anti the DCU Batgirl costume, which made her like youthful and more like hip and stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's like, no, it's this now.
Yeah.
And you're like,
she's super hot.
Right?
And all grown up.
And all grown up. So we see like that, obviously she's still, that the Killing Joke happened.
Yes.
But she got better. And she's still, dealing with it.
I just decided to put her in a Kryptonian healing coma.
Right? Or friggin' whatever.
It's not just for Kryptonians anymore.
Fixing her, whatever. So Barbara hunts down Harley, and she's like, we're going to figure this out together. Because I can't trust Bruce, because I need to not be able to trust Bruce for the story.
Well, also, he just lied to everybody, so...
Well, yeah. But also,
and he's lied to everyone before.
And they're friends?
I feel like, haven't they learned that you can't trust Bruce a couple of times already?
Yeah, but, that was pre-New 52 and stuff.
Oh, right.
I don't even know anymore.
Who even knows if that happened?
Yeah, it did. But, nah. Well, it did, but Wally doesn't have a family, so what? But, no, Barbara and Harley fight.
Yeah.
And their fight becomes this
I
hate you, and then they hug.
How does Barbara stand a chance?
I know,
yeah, right?
Harley's the
Superman couldn't
character
beat her.
in the superhero universe. But ultimately they fight and they cry. And
they have this moment, and then Harley just stabs her.
Right, which is in keeping with her character, but she doesn't. Instead, the two of them decide they're going to deal with this.
Deal with what?
They're gonna solve this mystery. Booster saying you killed them. You're saying Booster killed them. We're gonna figure this out together, and I'm gonna keep an eye on you. So let's go.
Okay.
You're just off the grid. So Barbara and Harley have their own adventure.
What the hell?
Booster Gold is being held in the Hall of Justice. Blue Beetle, his best friend, is there to visit him, and he's like, "Hey man, so did you do it?" And he's like, "I don't really know. I don't think so."
Would they not just hunt down Harley Quinn and get them both locked up in the Hall of Justice?
Well, they can't find her. She got away.
She's off the grid, and now Barbara Gordon's helping her out. So what the hell?
They'll never find her now.
So Blue Beetle breaks Booster Gold out.
Because they're buds.
Because they're bros.
Well, because they both have gold and blue as their themes.
Well, that's what you call their team up.
Fair,
it's blue and gold.
Oh. Booster Gold passed the rope test.
Yes, but the reason why he's still in prison is because maybe he just believes he's telling the truth.
Right.
Except that's probably not how a magic fucking lasso works. And what if you are using the magic lasso of truth against, I don't know, the insane? Suddenly you've depowered the lasso of truth. But let's just move on because so do they. But Booster Gold and Blue Beetle then escape, and they form a super tight, awesome catchphrase, which is fist pounding and saying, "Bros before heroes." Which is clunky and doesn't work, but they say it over and over and over again.
Say it once and move on. Make
keep...
your stupid hokey joke, and then be like, haha, that happened.
No,
we're going to make it happen.
Bros before heroes.
Say it once and then be like, oh, that doesn't work. That was stupid. Let's never do that again.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
High five.
Yeah, no. It's
Bros before heroes is practically like the headline of this story.
But it's halfway through the book before they say it.
I know.
Maybe it's the inflection that's bros before heroes.
It is. I mean, it has to
You can't be. It still doesn't work.
That also sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Trinity's at the Batcave, and Wonder Woman's like, I can't believe Booster Gold got freed by Blue Beetle, and now we can't find Harley Quinn or Booster. This is bullshit.
Wait, and Superman isn't like, hey, Batman, Lois has all your files.
And Superman's like, Lois has all of them. And he's like, oh, shit. She's a reporter. So, you know, she's gonna drop them all on the internet.
Oh, if only her husband was an all-powerful
That's
being
what
who could
Batman
stop.
says. Like, we'll stop her. He's like, well, that's why well, can we we have to stop her. And he's like, well, that's the problem, Bruce. She did it 35 seconds ago.
Fuck you! God damn it!
Yeah. We have Superman as a stand-in for Ozymandias in front of all of the monitors in the Batcave that are revealing that Sanctuary was dropped.
You understand, Bruce, these are stories that need
Remember
to be
that?
told.
Yes.
Remember when that happened?
Remember
that?
Watchmen?
Remember that Flash Superior book?
You may not want to try and compare your shitty event to arguably one of the greatest graphic novels of all fucking time.
All right.
So Sanctuary is revealed, and now everyone knows that heroes need therapy. Oh no.
Fine. So, like, all of their stories get revealed, all their secrets?
Well, you see, that's the thing, is that, like, really we're only seeing, like, certain confessionals, and, like, for some reason everyone doesn't know that Clark Kent is Superman still. Like, only certain files were released, or whatever. They don't really get into it
Well,
too
Lois
deeply.
wouldn't reveal that file.
Oh, no, that would be a breach of trust.
She is dedicated to being a reporter, but, like, you know, that's her man.
Right.
Yeah.
So Booster Gold and Blue Beetle are in, like, their flophouse apartment, just, like, chilling and eating pizza and drinking beers, like bros.
Bros.
By the way, I want to point this out because I don't know if I have a chance to, but every chapter opens with a artistic depiction of the title. And, like, I think this is one of the more clever ones where it's, like, you can see heroes in crisis. Like, it's really cool. Every single one of them is really, really excellent. And the art in this book is really good.
It is good. Everything looks great.
Like, it is a triumph. So anyway, Booster Gold and Blue Beetle are like, we're gonna figure this out. Like, I know what we're gonna do. Yeah, that's it. I mean, like, so like, what's the plan? And they're like, I know. Like, Booster Gold goes, I got it. We'll go back to Barry Allen. He's probably at his lab. He's the Flash. He's probably solved the mystery by now. We'll go there. We'll knock him out. We'll take his data, and then we'll solve the mystery ourselves. And Blue Beetle's like, but he punched you in the face and arrested you in the Hall of Justice. He goes, yeah, they'll never expect it. And he's like, dude. He's like, bro. He's like, I know, right? Then they clink beers and drink, and then presumably blow each other. So Batman's got Skeets, and he's gonna, like, get the data he needs. He's trying to figure things out. So he's like, I'm gonna interrogate by hacking Skeets.
Okay.
And so he's talking to Barbara, because Barbara's now, like, lying to Bruce.
Yep.
And she's like, hey, can I, like, borrow Skeets?
Sure, can I borrow Harley Quinn? I know you have her.
And I think that would be amazing, and that doesn't happen.
Damn it.
Instead...
What do you want Skeets for? What?
Right. Well, she's like, maybe I can use it to track Booster.
Oh, that's a good
like-
idea. I'll just do that myself.
No, I'll let Barbara do it. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. So she does. And he goes, call me if I miss something. And she's like, oh, yeah, of course.
So he trusts her, but
Yeah.
nobody trusts him.
No. Superman and Lois are, like, talking about how Superman's upset because now he's like, they're afraid of us now. Like, I was worried that, like, they were... The reason why it was a secret was because I didn't want anyone, A, finding out our identities, and B, finding out that, like, we have flaws.
Right.
Like, we're supposed to be an ideal.
Clark Kent, I understand why you had to do that, but I gotta tell you, Superman, he is
pissed.
super pissed about this.
And I think there's only one way that you can make it up to Superman, Lois.
Yeah. How's that, Clark?
Yeah, what?
Put on the Doomsday costume again. Yeah. This is how I get over my trauma.
Oh, that
Holy
is
shit.
one of the most messed up things you've ever said on this couch.
That was awesome, though. Holy fucking damn it.
So anyway,
All right, I just broke you guys.
Barbara takes
Lord.
Skeets to a playground with Harley, and he's like, I need you to find Booster. And he's like, I can't. And she's like, yeah, I know. And like, I'm sure Batman was very thorough and he was really scary, but the fact is, he has a moral code. But Harley here probably doesn't. So she's gonna like beat you, a robot, until you tell us. And it works. Off panel.
How about I'm a robot that floats? Float away.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, I'm above you. You can't get me.
Yeah, nope, it doesn't happen that way. So anyway, Booster Gold smashes into the room where Barry's working, and he goes, hey, Barry, how's the whole mystery-solving thing? Did I do it? And Barry's like, what the fuck is your problem? And I'm like, fair enough.
Yeah, good question. That's what I wondered this whole book.
Yeah.
Somebody finally asked.
Yeah. So, Barry punches Booster, and then Booster just like...
Yeah, I'm the Flash. You can't beat me.
Right. But anyway, he does. He just zaps Barry.
Yeah.
So Barry's knocked out, and Booster's like,
because the world's topsy-turvy.
Yeah, so it worked. And then Superman holds a press conference with Wonder Woman, and he's like, so I just wanted to say, like, yeah, we have a secret place where we air our dirty laundry and try to get over our trauma. Therapy's okay, and it's, like, safe, and I think it should work.
Right.
And, like, maybe this is better.
You shouldn't watch those videos. That's a violation.
Yeah. The puddling.
Oh, the puddling.
Hashtag the puddling, yeah. All right. Yeah. So Superman gives this big speech that takes the entire book, and it's just an opportunity for Clayman to draw cool stuff. Cool. And Superman basically says, like, we go through shit, and we have a hard time. Hopefully it humanizes us and makes you understand. If not, fuck you. And then leaves. And everyone is like, we love you, Superman, hooray! And that's the whole thing. Like,
yeah.
Those 4 pages are what King wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but like, there's
But
no
what does that have to
tension
do with all this bullshit that's happening around it?
Nothing.
You had to have the book happen so you could get this off your chest.
Yes.
And be like, it's okay, we don't judge you for your trauma.
Yeah.
We're glad you're getting the help.
Right. And
Excellent.
actually, like, we encourage you to do it. Like, if it makes you better heroes, by all means.
And like, that's an excellent message.
Sure.
Okay.
What the hell is the rest of the book then?
Yeah.
That's supposed to come at the end.
It's supposed to get you to buy it. No one's going to buy like a one-shot special that's just Superman proselytizing the reader for 18 pages saying like, therapy's actually got a bad stigma and you should really try it.
Why would you have this in the middle of the book, though?
They used to do books like that.
They did, actually.
Drugs are bad. That's what this book is about, right? Like,
yeah.
Why can't you do that
I
now?
Because it was see-through.
Well,
it was transparent bullshit.
Because people would skip it, I guess.
They would skip it. The compulsion to say, I have a responsibility to share this message is, like, also weighed against the, like, cleverness of, like, well, if I tie it into an event that everyone will buy... not only the people who believe that they should get the help they need will read it, but like everyone will read it. Mm-hmm. So like maybe that'll reach more people.
Right.
Look, if I see
which is admirable.
If I see a 12-page comic,
that says
saying
like
drugs are whack.
You're gonna be
guess what?
Well, I get it.
I get it. I'm not picking up your book.
Yeah.
But if I read like the Venom book where Batman gets hooked on it,
right,
and gets like addicted to that shit,
that
draws me in,
right, yeah.
Well, that just means you should maybe organically weave the theme into the story.
Well, and I think he's trying to do that despite heavy editorial interference.
And despite Harley Quinn bashing it into our heads with a hammer.
Right.
I'm sorry, a mallet.
Thank you. So Booster and Blue Beetle are looking at like the death footage and files on Wally West.
Right.
And Booster's like, I see it. I figured it out.
Oh?
And Blue Beetle's like...
Now he's the world's greatest detective?
Yeah, and Blue Beetle's like, but you're a fucking idiot. And Booster Gold goes, yes, that's true, but...
That's why I can see
I travel through time and stuff, and I can see when something has been a different age than it is in its own timeline. So like the body of Wally West that we're looking at, that body is 5 days older than the Wally West that was in the Sanctuary alive.
5 days.
Yeah.
You can tell when something is 5 days.
I'm Booster Gold, and no one knows how to write me.
That body is 5 days too old. Yeah, because it's a speedster. He runs so fast, he's basically traveling through time.
Yeah.
He's older because he can do so much more stuff.
Right, he's done 5 days worth of stuff in only 20 seconds. That's true, and Wally can do that, and does in this book, but that's not why the body's 5 days old. So, remember that rose that Harley threw in the river?
Yes.
She did that. A red begloved hand pulls the rose out of the river, and Batgirl and Harley find Booster and Blue Beetle, and then they all team up. So then we get the whole explanation. Who's the murderer? What's going on? The murderer is Wally West. Wally West is the killer. Because fuck Wally West, right? Like, but he's the Hope! Yeah, not anymore. Now he's the
so
opposite
not the Hope, he's actually the worst.
Yeah, he's actually a murderer. And a liar.
I couldn't stand that Jeff Johns brought him back.
And the whole thing is like, Wally's like, I came back. And Barry's like, you're everything. And like, we even see the shot from DC Rebirth that everybody loves. But then Tom King adds 2 more pages where he goes, but where's my family though? And he's like crying. And you're like, that's not the scene.
You didn't know that at the time.
Nope, that retconned. That's the scene now. So
No.
everyone is like hugging Wally and being like, oh my God, Wally, you're back. And everyone keeps like talking about how great he is and how lucky they are. And each time he hugs them, he's just like, he just doesn't care. And he's miserable because like his family's gone. So,
But she's still here.
Well,
but
couldn't you like?
but his child doesn't
win her
exist.
back?
No, he ran to her and was like, you're my wife! And she's like, get the fuck away from me. So like, that's done.
Yeah, maybe don't do that.
Yikes.
Yeah.
It's called subtlety, Wally.
Yeah.
Maybe start with a rose
Yeah.
that you plucked from the river.
Yeah. So then we see like a flashback of Wally like holding Roy Harper Arsenal and being like, oh my God, because they were teammates back on the Titans and everything. He's like, oh, I can't believe this. And then he gets killed by Booster Gold, and then Harley sees that, and she's like, oh my God, like what? And you're like, what? So
wait.
So Harley and Booster fight.
I don't
They all
understand.
teamed up, and now they're fighting.
Right, but I don't understand how Booster saw Harley killing everyone.
Yeah. And
When Harley saw Booster kill Wally,
Yeah.
but apparently Wally killed everyone.
Yes.
So, babe,
Well, we'll get into it.
we'll get it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll find out.
So they teamed up and now they're all fighting.
Well, the 2 of them are fighting. Booster and Harley are fighting, and Blue Beetle and Batgirl just kind of like watching them.
Yeah, masturbating, being like, go at it.
Yeah. Well, the idea here is that like Booster Gold's shield like wasn't working properly. This like personal force field that should immediately and easily defeat Harley Quinn.
Right.
But now it is working, so Harley can like get all of her aggression out on Booster.
Oh.
And Blue Beetle reveals to Batgirl like, yeah, I got it working, but like it's kind of like it's complicated because it's future tech. So I have it tuned to like my brainwave. So as long as I'm conscious, the shield will hold up. So then Batgirl's like, cool, and she knocks him out. And then
Why?
Because like she's still figuring out the mystery.
So she needs Harley Quinn to be able to punch Booster Gold?
Yeah. So Barry runs to Batman because now he's woken up and he's like, Batman, Booster Gold, blah, 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 blah. And Batman's like, okay, let's go. Batgirl doesn't believe that Harley will kill Booster, despite the fact that she's been saying she's going to murder him the entire book, especially the Batgirl.
Yeah.
So Batgirl disables the shield by knocking out Blue Beetle so that Harley can be put to the test.
Yeah.
And when Harley does have that opportunity, she does not take it, and instead is like, nah, because like she's not certain that Booster Gold killed everybody.
Yeah, but she also is Harley Quinn, and wouldn't she just kill him for fun?
Well, yes, but she's not.
But also she was certain.
Well, and she's really upset mostly because she believes that like Booster or someone killed Poison Ivy.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And if she believes
Right.
he did it, why wouldn't she murder him?
Oh, you know what? You didn't.
Because there is a little bit of doubt.
But I'm also a bad guy, so blah.
Yeah, right.
That's what should happen.
No, but no, because Harley Quinn is one of the pillars of DC.
Oh, right. She can't just murder someone for no reason.
Yeah. So then that red begloved hand, it like conjures some lightning. Obviously, it's Wally.
Yeah.
And it zaps the rose it pulled out of the river, and then Poison Ivy blasts out of it, changed. Now she's like the same Poison Ivy, but she's more plant than woman. Before it was like Pamela Isley, who was like changed.
Yeah.
Now she's been reborn as like a plant woman, and the green, which is like an elemental force that Swamp Thing usually taps into, that like helps to bring her back to life. The idea here is that like, retconned into this book, of course, Poison Ivy gave Harley a rose, and Harley just thought it was like a sweet gesture, but actually it was like a backup of herself just in case something bad ever happened to her. This way, we can kill Poison Ivy and give Harley the motivation she needs to be personally invested in the story, but also not like kill one of Batman's rogues.
But
off
now
panel.
she's a plant person.
Yeah. But like she really was also before that anyway, so whatever.
No, she just liked plants.
Yeah, well, now she's a little bit different,
Yeah.
but mostly the same.
Uh-huh.
She's different in unspecified ways that, you know, can come up or not.
Right.
Depending on if the writer wants to do anything with that.
That's right.
Well, now she doesn't have to wear clothes because she's a plant.
Yes.
That's right.
Those are leaves or buds.
Yeah, she's not nude. She's a plant.
Now that everyone's punched each other, Harley, Batgirl, Booster Gold, and Blue Beetle all team up, and they're like, I've got it! So, of course, obviously Wally West brought Poison Ivy back to life, and then Wally West shows up and meets up with Wally West. So Wally West, who rescued Poison Ivy, has now met up with other Wally West.
What?
You see, the idea here is that Wally West went nuts and killed everybody at Sanctuary. But, like, the reason he did is not because he's an asshole. It's because Wally West thought that the heroes invented Sanctuary just for him. And that, like, this concept, because the idea is it's all secret and it's all, like, private. So you can meet people with the masks and shit, but, like, maybe those are robots too and stuff.
Right.
So for Wally, he's just like, he feels horribly alone in the world, and he feels like no one else could possibly understand his trauma. And he also can't imagine that anyone else would sign up for something like Sanctuary. So he believes that the heroes invented Sanctuary just for himself. And the robots keep telling him you're not alone, but he's like, but that's bullshit because Sanctuary is a thing just for me and because no one else would do this. If I'm really not alone, then show me. And so Wally uses the Speed Force and he runs through the data banks of Sanctuary and he sees all of the trauma of everyone who's ever been to Sanctuary, and it cracks his brain. And he just gets so overwhelmed by everyone else's trauma.
That's weird. I didn't know one of Wally's powers was inadvertently absorbing people's trauma because he sees it.
Or accessing, like, computerized data instantaneously just using lightning and
Yeah,
stuff.
no, he could do that.
Yeah, he can do that.
Yeah.
But when he accessed that shit and broke through, that triggered Sanctuary's evacuation system. So all the people, like, left Sanctuary, and when they got outside, Wally was outside in the cornfield just kind of crying.
Yeah.
And when they all came over to him, they were all like, hey, Wally, it's going to be okay. And he's like, no, get away from me. And he, like, reaches out with the Speed Force and slaughters everybody with the Speed Force. Because that's something also the Speed Force
with, like,
can do.
lightning, like, blasting out of his body and
so
stabbing people.
So he kills everyone with the Speed Force, and then he's like, shit, everyone's dead. And I can't just
Well, Wally's way OP.
Yeah. And I can't just go back in time and stop myself because that might cause, like, Flashpoint or some shit. So instead of just undoing everything, which is what everyone wants him to do anyway, instead he's like, I need to figure out what to do. So I need to buy myself some time. So he places everyone in a position where they look like they could be killed by somebody. And because of all of his experience with Barry, he knows how to set it up, forensically speaking, to pin it on Booster or Harley so that everyone will get them confused. And he's so fast that when Booster and Harley were going to leave, he actually turned them around and put them back into Sanctuary. So they went into holographic rooms. So when they saw each other killing the other heroes, actually they were seeing a simulation that was created by Wally West, who also hacked Sanctuary to be able to do that.
This is the most horseshit explanation I've ever heard.
Then when they see that happening and they think they fight each other, then they leave. So that's why Booster doesn't have those stab wounds and stuff, because he was never actually attacked by Harley in the first place. You see.
That whole fight was a hologram?
Yeah.
With the diner?
Yeah.
Why would he make a hologram, like, reality of that?
He wasn't really thinking clearly. So, like, anyway, that happens. And then Booster and Harley are set off on their own adventure. And so since the Trinity and the heroes will be going to look for Booster and Harley, that'll buy Wally some time.
5 days of time.
That's right.
To do what?
Search me. So he instead uses that time to inscribe the Puddler's message on the wall and then release the Sanctuary data to the Daily Planet, because now that he's had some time to think about it, actually, part of the problem was being a secret about their trauma in the first place.
No, it's not about a secret.
So he releases the data from Sanctuary, signed the Puddlers. Now, by the way, what is a Puddler? The Puddlers are this disaffected group of people who worked on America's infrastructure where, like, they would make, like, iron and, like, the idea was, like, they made, it was like the working class group of Americans who worked on making the, like, steel infrastructure that would become America, but the runoff and like chemicals from that like work gave them a short lifespan and killed them. Like, they did all this work, but they also were hurt and killed by it.
Right. Okay. So they're the puddlers because they're the superheroes. They're saving the world, but because of all this trauma,
they're damaged.
It's shortening their lives, or
it shortens their lives.
Yeah, it shortens their lives because Wally fucking kills them.
Well, it shortens their lives because like a supervillain could kill them, or they just
other.
Go through so much physical damage. They're like athletes; they get all beat up and they don't live as long. Okay, that's not the first time that's come up. I've seen that before. So like, okay,
right on.
Yeah, I got you.
Like, I understand it.
Yes,
sure.
So.
But that's a bad analogy for being like, no, it's because it's all secret.
So, okay. There's a dead Wally at Sanctuary. The Wally killed everybody. He ran away, did all this, and then there's another, but then there's Wally from 5 days from now who hasn't been killed yet.
Right.
And that Wally meets up with the other Wally, and he's like, do I have any more work to do before I die? And he's like, yeah, you gotta go get a flower, because I found out apparently there's like the poison ivy's, you can unmake one death from this. So then that Wally gets the flower, zaps it, brings back poison ivy, and now they're meeting, right? So you got...
I mean, you could unmake all of the deaths.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that because that might make Flashpoint. It won't, but like, yeah. So then he's like, there's just one more killing you have to do, right? Because like now I've caught up. I've done everything. I've released the Sanctuary data and I've resurrected poison ivy. So now you can kill me and then position my body. The 5 day later Wally can be killed by...
Current
Wally. And then current Wally will position 5 day later Wally's body so that they find him at the scene as well. And it'll become a closed loop, and so I'll have done it, but I'll also kill myself. That makes sense. It's a closed loop. Wally Prime kills everybody. He releases the Sanctuary data, does all the stuff.
Yeah.
Then he goes 5 days into the future and finds himself waiting for him. And he's like, this is the day I die. You kill me and then bring me back to the past and position my body. So Wally Prime
he does go back into the past and he puts his body there.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Yes.
So then the team catches up with the Wallies and they're like, stop. You're not alone. And it's going to be okay.
So what, they change what happens?
Yeah.
So he doesn't go back and put his body there?
No, they don't.
But he did. We saw it.
Here's what they do. Instead, they're like, no. And he's like, yeah, but I still have to die. I still have to kill myself. And Booster Gold goes, oh, no, you don't. Because now that I've got Skeets with me again, I'll just go to the future. I'll clone you. Just a dead version of you. And then we'll position the body there, and then I'll close the loop so that you don't have to die, and you can catch up with yourself, and then Wally West will still be alive.
And you can deal with the trauma of killing everybody.
Yes! And so they arrest him, and Wally goes away. Oh, but before that happens, Harley kicks Wally in the nuts. For killing Poison Ivy. Yeah, I mean, she's back and stuff, but like, still, you did it, though. Right?
So all of these characters get to die.
Yes.
What?
Except for Poison Ivy.
Except for Poison Ivy.
And Wally.
And Wally,
who did all of this.
Yes.
And should have died, but didn't.
Right. So then the story ends with more heroes going to Sanctuary. It's not just the Titans and the sidekicks. Now it's Mera and Aquaman and Mr. Terrific and Martian Manhunter. And they're all going to Sanctuary because now it's okay. We're all comfortable with it.
It was okay before.
I know, but now it's more okay.
Oh, it's more okay because everyone's secrets got released?
Yes.
Well, because then they found out that, like, other people are doing it.
Yes,
cool.
We're not alone.
Yeah.
The whole message is really you're not alone.
Right.
You don't have to deal with this alone. That maybe the problem was making it isolated. Telling everybody to kind of like stick with yourself.
Right.
And be anonymous.
Is it... They're all going and like everyone sees each other. They'll be like, "Hey, I see you at Sanctuary."
Yeah, presumably.
Wow.
There is no way you can ever trust Wally again after this.
No.
Well, he goes to jail or whatever,
right? He goes to jail, but I'm sure Amanda Waller will hire him to join the Suicide Squad.
Barry should just snap his neck.
No! It's like, they were like, okay, well, I know we're character assassinating Wally, but if we like literally assassinate him, then like the fans will lose their shit.
I mean, he doesn't intentionally kill those people. It's kind of an accident.
It's an accident.
He does intentionally, like,
deceive
pin
everyone.
it on other people.
Yes.
And not tell people what happened.
He covers up their deaths.
Yes, he
and
does
blames
do that.
other people.
Yeah.
And other people could have died from it.
Listen.
Yes.
You are going too far for me. He killed all these people. The end. Like that's the ruining of Wally West.
Well, yeah, that
It's not
does.
it
does.
Oh, but he
mess
didn't
up his-
mean it. Oh, but he still did it though.
Yeah, but he's
And
not like a monster.
No, but
he's
like-
just like dangerous.
Yeah.
Do you know what would happen to the DC universe if Superman like got really upset and did a solar flare and murdered a bunch
Yeah,
of
that'd be
superheroes?
real-
Or
that'd be a
if
real
like
problem.
Lois was killed by him, you'd have a friggin' Injustice comic book series that lasted a long time and everyone would really enjoy. Or a sweet video game. Or a sequel to that video game. You get some pretty damn good stories out of it.
Yeah, but that's an
if
alternate
Lois
friggin'
died.
universe.
Yeah, it's not happening
This is main
now.
continuity.
That would be like if Superman was mind controlled, he murdered like a city, and then it turns out it was like, telepathy from Lex Luthor or some crap. And he's like, oh shit, I did all these horrible things, but it wasn't me. Like, that would still be fucked up.
That
and
would be
horrible.
messed up,
See,
yeah.
and that would be an irrevocable damaging of Superman. So it is as well with Wally.
Yeah.
Well,
But again, anti-rebirth. You're the hope. What does that mean? There's a moment where Green Lantern's at Sanctuary and he goes, I mean, like, they say I have willpower, but like, what even is willpower? Do you even know? Yeah.
yeah, but how do you measure like who has more of it? Like, how do you know I have the most ever?
I think the ring chose you.
First of all, is that really what we're trying to get through here at Sanctuary?
Oh, you wanna measure your hope, your
Right?
willpower?
Like, what?
I don't.
That's stupid. Also, Catwoman saying meow to the
Yeah,
confessional.
what?
It's also stupid.
That
but
is
that is
very stupid.
totally in keeping with Tom King's depiction of Selena Kyle.
She's just crazy. Meow.
She just meows. Meow. You don't know what she's gonna do. I mean, if Tom King's writing it, you know she's gonna meow and say bat.
Bat?
Yeah, that's how they communicate with each other. Batman and Catwoman, they call each other Bat and Cat.
Oh.
And like I think there's like 85 issues of the Tom King run. So I think a good 79 issues of 85 issues consist of just Batman and Catwoman saying bat, cat, bat, cat, bat, cat.
And nothing else.
And nothing else.
Oh, and of course not getting married.
Oh, don't forget that. Because that's very important.
Marriage is overrated, even though we were totally into it before.
So if you like Heroes in Crisis or you're interested in it, there's a link in the description box below this video where you can pick up a copy. It's one of the worst things to come out of DC Comics in the last 5-10 years.
Pick it up in stores now.
It's just damaging.
Yeah,
It should write damaged on its forehead.
Yeah, get a nice sweet silver grill.
That's what Wally should do.
Damaged. Love it. He could zap it with lightning.
Oh
to
yeah,
his
with his
forehead.
new lightning powers.
Yeah. Ooh, he could change his logo. He could be damaged. That's his character name. The lightning bolt is in the shape of a D. These ideas are free.
You're
You
welcome.
can use any of them.
Yeah. Well, because like it's still.
Because apparently you're just using any idea.
Oh, because you're just doing whatever you want, as long as it hurts Wally West.
That's amazing.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's man. He could still be the hope for everyone. They could still write a
Why would
story
they
in the
want
future
that?
where like, yeah, you fell, but like you redeemed yourself,
Right.
by, like sacrificing yourself to save the universe or whatever.
This is
like that
this
could
is
happen.
just a giant middle
You
finger
don't
That's
know.
a
to
good
Jeff
point.
Johns.
Let's ask Hotspot what he thinks about that. Hey, Lagoon Boy, what do you... Oh, right.
Oh, you're all dead.
You're all dead and no one cares to resurrect you.
And nobody cared.
We could have done it in the story. It's not going to happen.
Fortunately, they all died in one story. All you got to do is retcon this one story, and they all come back.
Yeah, all you gotta do is have a crisis and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Everything's undone. It's probably a good idea.
This is just a middle finger to Johns.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know if he was like, if he left voluntarily or if he was like forced to leave or if he did, was like, this is, you guys aren't taking any of my ideas. Like, I have a direction for DC and you don't want to do it.
Right.
Fine, I'm leaving.
I mean,
Like, do whatever you want.
Maybe
I
he
don't care.
didn't have it. Maybe the thing was like he was like, oh, Wally's like the hero forever, and they're like, okay, what does that mean? I don't know. We'll come up with something.
mean,
You don't know?
No.
Oh,
Jeff Johns is not
screw him.
J.J. Abrams, okay? Like, he actually does have a plan.
All right.
It's just
well,
that he has to work with like a dozen other creators.
Right.
So, he can't always execute that plan to its fullest extent.
right. Sometimes this plan gets undermined completely.
Yeah.
And destroyed
Right. Well,
because he went away.
when you step down from co-publisher and become
Yeah.
like just another writer,
Right.
your influence has become a little bit lessened.
Right.
But But the art's really good, so check that out. And those variant covers are solid. I really like the idea of Sanctuary, and there is a message in here.
Yeah.
Deep within it, there is a message, and I think it's valuable, and the intent...
Well, it comes halfway through the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has some flaws.
And then you can stop.
It's good to deal with them. We're all human in some way.
Right, and you're not alone.
Yeah.
If you can get past the half-baked mystery plot,
right?
Somewhere in there's a pretty good message.
Yeah. And I applaud the attempt by Tom King. He's like, I want to say something, and we're gonna make it into an event so that more people can see it. Right on. Okay. Just too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad it's this one.
It seems like they were trying to do too many things. They're like, okay, Tom, we need you to destroy Wally West, because we're getting rid of that.
Right.
And it's got to be a crisis.
Yep.
So that we could sell a lot of it. We're going to reboot Poison Ivy.
Yes.
And Harley Quinn has to be a major character in it.
And a good guy.
And then you can do your therapy thing.
Right. Oh, and
really? I can do my therapy thing in the book too? Thanks.
And according to King, you have to use Booster Gold as well.
Oh, Booster Gold and Harley Quinn?
Where do I sign up?
Awesome.
Can do. Bros Before Heroes, pound it.
I got this.
Pound it.
That's the cover, man.
Thanks a lot for watching this episode. We'll see you guys next week with an all-new episode. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Hey. Bros Before Heroes. Boom.
Boom.
Yes.
Boom.
Boom. Fart.
Wait, hang on. Hold your fist up straight. We'll just pound this.
Yeah. Oh.
Boom. Cover, or we're just,
I don't know.
Is it the episode?
No, you just freeze it.